What if I told you that your greatest breakthroughs, your most profound successes, are born not in moments of action, but in periods of what looks like absolute nothingness? That the very times you feel most stuck and most dormant are actually your most productive. This is not a story about waiting. This is a story about a secret war happening beneath the surface of your life. Stay with me, because understanding this one principle will change how you see every single setback you have ever faced. Ilara lived in a city that worshipped speed. A place where success was measured in viral moments and overnight sensations. She was a sculptor, but in this world of instant gratification, her craft felt obsolete. Her friends were launching tech startups, becoming influencers, and climbing corporate ladders at a dizzying pace. Ilara, meanwhile, spent months on a single piece, only to see it greeted with polite silence at galleries. The pressure mounted. A voice, slick and insistent, started whispering in her ear. Its name was Instant. It belonged to a sleek, ever-present digital assistant that everyone in the city had. It spoke in notifications and metrics. "Ilara," Instant would chirp, "your engagement is down. Your friend Liam just secured another round of funding. Perhaps sculpture is a dying art. You are being left behind." She tried to listen. She started creating smaller, quicker, more trendy pieces. They sold, but they felt hollow. The joy she once found in the patient caress of wood, in the slow reveal of form from stone, was replaced by a frantic anxiety. She was a sunflower, desperately trying to bloom in a day, and she was withering. In despair, she fled the city for her grandfather's old workshop, a dusty sanctuary nestled at the edge of a silent, ancient forest. The air here was thick with the scent of pine and old paper, and it was blissfully free of a signal. Here, Instant's voice faded to a distant, powerless hum. Her grandfather, a master craftsman of cellos, was now retired. His hands gnarled but steady. He watched Ilara pace like a caged animal. She poured out her frustrations. "I am not growing, grandfather. I am stagnant. Everyone is moving, and I am just here." The old man smiled, a slow, deep crack in his weathered face. He didn't offer advice. Instead, he led her to his basement, to a special project he had been working on for 5 years. It was a cello, but it was unlike any Ilara had ever seen. The wood was a mosaic of different grains, impossibly intricate. "This is not one piece of wood," her grandfather explained. "It is hundreds. Tiny, perfect pieces, each one shaped and fitted over years." Ilara was confused. "But why so long? You could have carved a cello from a single block in a year." "Ah," he said, his eyes twinkling. "A cello from a block is good. Makes a sound. But this..." He gently tapped the mosaic body. It emitted a tone so pure, so complex and resonant, it seemed to vibrate in Ilara's very soul. "This will make a symphony. For 5 years I have not been building an instrument. I have been building an ecosystem. Each tiny piece of wood had to be seasoned, cured, and understood. I was not idle. I was listening to the silence within the wood, learning its song." He pointed to a massive oak tree visible through the window. "You see that tree? For the first years of its life, it does not grow tall. Grows deep. Its energy is spent building a root system so vast and so strong that when it finally decides to reach for the sky, no storm can knock it down. What you see as nothing is everything. The deep work is happening." A seismic shift occurred within Ilara. The metaphor landed not as a pleasant idea, but as a fundamental truth. She had been trying to grow the trunk without the roots. She had been judging her journey by Liam's sunlight, forgetting that his roots were shallow, built for a different kind of plant. She returned to the city, but she was different. She silenced Instant. She stopped scrolling. She rented a small studio and chose a single massive block of marble for her next project. For months there was nothing to show. Her friends checked in with concern. "What are you working on, Ilara? We see no posts, no updates." She would simply smile and say, "I am growing roots." She spent her days not carving, but reading, walking, feeling the marble, studying the play of light in her studio. She was mapping a universe inside that stone. She was building a root system of understanding, of patience, of deep, unshakable intent. A year passed. Then she began to work. And when she did, it was not like chiseling. It was like a revelation. The form emerged from the stone as if it had always been there, waiting to be set free. It was a figure of a human form, half emerged from the rough stone, one hand reaching skyward, the other still connected to the base, its face a portrait of serene, immense power. She called it the Awakening. When it was unveiled, the art world did not just notice. It stood still. Critics struggled for words. They spoke of its profound presence, its tangible energy. It was not just a sculpture. It was an experience. People felt quiet and powerful in its presence. They did not just see it. They felt its deep, resonant roots. Liam, the successful entrepreneur, came to see it. He stood before it for a long time. Later he confessed to Elara, "I have built a company, but it feels like a house of cards. Could blow over in the next storm. You have built an oak tree." Elara finally understood. The world is divided not between the successful and the unsuccessful, but between the sunflowers and the oaks, the cellos from a block and the cellos from a symphony. The sunflowers provide a beautiful, temporary spectacle. But the oaks provide shelter for generations. The quick-start cello makes a tune, but the master's cello holds the sound of the forest itself. Your invisible periods are not empty. They are your most fertile. You are not falling behind. You are gathering in the deep, building the foundation for something that does not just bloom but endures. You are not dormant. You are an invisible army, preparing for a victory so profound that its roots will anchor you for a lifetime. Stop measuring your height against the sunflowers. Tend to your roots. Your time to tower is coming.